Hi, hello, good afternoon to all. Today we are going to discuss about basics of robotics uh, related with the industrial part. Okay, let's see what are the things in industrial sector regarding with robotics. Okay, let's start the session. Okay, first we going to discuss what are the things today we going to handle in this webinar. Introduction to ABB robot, safety, definition of industrial robot, and description of manipulator and controller and flux pendant, and then some pictorial description about the robot connections. Then how to jogging the robot, jogging in the sense how to move the robot, and some practices. Okay, let's start the session. Okay. Basically, in industry, many people have a doubt about how we can select the robot. They have several applications in that in the industrial sector, which means welding and pick and place applications and various kind of automotive industries having this confusion how to select the robot. First, they have to understand uh, what is their application, which means welding application in the sense uh, some different thing in robot selections and pick and place in the sense several other things in choosing the robots, like that it will be changed over the application. Depends upon the application, the robot selection process will be changed, but commonly we have some standard format how to select the robot. Based on that, we have 4 points. Number of axes required, which means number of axes in the sense robot have several axes. Okay, in this part, axis part, we will discuss in next slides. Second one, reachability. Uh, how much reach the robot will be uh, the end, which means reachability in the sense uh, robot is the origin point in your machines. Okay, uh, from the origin point to end point, like our hand will move depends upon the length of our hand, right? The same thing applies on the robots. How much arms the robot have, that much only the reachability also there. The same thing in reachability. Okay, third one is payload weight. Payload weight is nothing but a robot has some particular weight. Okay, and robot want to do some activity in your industry. In the sense we have in my application, some product I have to pick from my robot and place over another region. Already robot have some weight, but robot have going to pick some material. The picking material weight is called as payload weight. Okay, and then accuracy. Accuracy, in the word itself, you people know accuracy means some accurate fine values, which means repeated fine values. We need that. Okay, why we using robot? uh, Most of the cases manpower and people will do some mistakes, but why we going with robot? That mistakes we have to avoid from the process industries. Okay, in the same thing, accuracy, it depends upon the point of robot is repeatability. If I have picked the part from 1 degree, the next component I will pick in second degree, it means some difference in 1 degree. Okay, but we are using robot, we can avoid the issues, the 1 degree issues. Every time robot will go to pick in 1 degree, not in second degree. So that much of accuracy we can get from robots. Uh, uh, I will explain more things in next slides. Okay, we will move. Robots overview. Uh, okay, robot overview. Nothing. Robot ranges will be in 1 kg payload to 650 kg, which means one robot can pick 1 kilo part also. In maximum cases, different robots are there. Uh, that robots will pick up to 650 kgs. Okay, which means very heavy industries. Heavy industries will have more weight components. 650 kg cannot pick from human being and other. The 650 kg definitely we can pick with one in crane. But if a single part we can move with crane. But every production product in 650 kg ranges we cannot use every time in cranes, but in that area we can use robots to pick the weight and do some process, and we can dispatch to the customers. Okay. And robots rigid, reliable and easy to use. Yes, definitely robot will be very reliable, rigid. It is very easy to use. Always have a compact things. Okay, next 6-axis robots. Yes, I already told you people. Axis in the sense, we have um, robot arms. Okay, we have here you can see these robots have 1 and 2 and 3 arms. Okay, they have 3 arms. In first arms it have 3 axes. It called as minor axes. Okay, in base it have very big arms. This we called as major axes. Okay. This major and minor axis we can elaborately see in next slides. Just see these pictures of 6-axis robots. And next, these are all paint robots. You can see here we have spray guns in edge of the robot arms here. Okay, you can able to see. And next slide is dedicated 4-axis robots. This one is dedicated, which why we called as dedicated means this 4-axis will use in special applications. This robots are pick and place robots, uh, generally called as picker robots. Next, the family of robots. Some low payload robots we called as small robot family, and maximum payload robots we called as higher robot family, and some related names. Here we can see large robot families. I think you can able to see the pictures of large robot families, I think. Okay, next, these are all the crane crane type. You can see this type of things in many industries. Heavy materials handled in cranes. In that area we can use hanging robots will be hanging from the top of the rail, and they can able to survive the things in industries like this. Pictures showing the same thing. Next, paint robot family again, in different models you can able to see. In this session I have included a maximum number of things to understanding of basics of robots, and some other uh, images and applications also. Over the session we can able to see all those things. Next one, dedicated 4-axis robot family, again the same thing. Just I have mentioned some details of the picker robot, how much payload it has, and some reachabilities. The detailed numbers I have mentioned. I think you will be able to see that things. Okay, next, the flex picker family. I already told you, no, picker robots. This flex picker in the sense flexible picker. This seems as an simple rod, but it works in major role in picking areas. Mostly this kind of picker robots using in food industries, like PepsiCo companies, like that major food industries. They are using this kind of robots. This is robot control family, which means the robot is controlled with the controller and smart pad dependent, which means every robot we calling as an manipulator. You already seen some robot pictures in earlier slides. In that slides you can see the robots we called in technical term as manipulator. Okay. uh, the controller part of the robot we called as an controller. In this slide you people able to see these controllers in modular version, paint version, and some different versions we shown here. Okay. Up to this controller, this type of controllers able to control minimum 6 axis in 6 axis robots, and maximum we can extend more axes. I think up to 36 axis we can able to survey with the single controller cabinet. Yes, we can detailedly go through the session. This is general thing. What is the industrial robot? Industrial robot is a programmable, multifunctional, multi-manipulator powered by electricity. Yes, the robot is nothing. All kind of robot, not about only in industrial robot. All robots working in a programmable logic. Every robot working with program, not a default program. They have some default language. We have to do some programs regarding our application. Okay. Yeah, application will be changes, but robot will be same, controller will be same, but we can use the same robot and same controller in different application in our industries. Okay. In that robot we can function only with the program part. Without programming, robot cannot work. We can power on the robot, we can jack the robot, but in that application we have to work, means we have to program the robot. At the same time, robot working with the power. Without power, robot cannot be able to work. The simple thing will be definition. Yes, a robot in the sense, robot is a programmable logic only robot working. Okay. If program working with logic means we have to ensure safety also, no? If human being working means, if any obstacles is there, human cannot be able to work. But robot not like that. You programmed in several path. The obstacles or any interference here and there means robot cannot see. He goes and hit the obstacles and interference things, whatever it may be. Okay. In that concern, we need more safety from human to robot. Okay. In that sense, we have some safety things. Emergency stop, in the sense emergency stop switches over there in case of any dangerous things going to happen in front of our view. We can stop the process of robot using switch the emergency stop button. One option, and another one option is operating mode is classified as 3 types: auto and manual functions. In auto functions, robot can automatically work based on the program we selected. In manual condition, we have 2 options: slow motion and fast motion. We can check the new programs into our manual speed with 50% of manual speed, and second manual is 100% of manual speed. After enabling switch is nothing but if we are doing some activity with the robot, with some non-safety area, that time we can enable the switch of pendant, then only robot will work. If we release the switch, robot cannot be work. Based on the safety thing, that switch also considered in that robot. Hold to run in the same concept of enabling switch. Safety guard stop auto manual already we discussed. Limiting the workspace. Robot always need an good workspace. Then only robot can be able to work in a good way and good safety. That thing we have to ensure always. And then next, accident risks. What are the accident risks? Fault tracing, which means we have tracing the robot in fault manner, and repair activity. In case of we are repairing the robot, that time we have a risk of accidents. Change of program, already we have done one good program, we have going to change without any knowledge of robot. That time accidental risk will happen. Test run, always test run have an risk of accidents. That the purpose only we have a manual option to check with manual speeds. We can slowly move. We can know this area is wrongly programmed. This is going to hit that time we can stop in slow motion. But in manual auto condition, without checking of new program we done, that time definitely we can get an accidental options. So we have this much of risk also there. Next, emergency stop. I already told you people for an emergency switch. This switch is like this. I have entered some pictures also for your reference. Emergency switch, and also I have mentioned here, recover by resetting push button and pressing the motor on button, which means once we switch to the button, we can release in this option, using this option. Okay. Next, hold to run. The hold run buttons are there in pendant. Next, safeguard stops. I already done the discussion earlier with this topic, safeguard stop. Okay. Limiting the workspace. Limiting the workspace also I already discussed you people. If you want, you can check the description also. Okay. Next, safety regarding grip device. This is the gripper. I already told na, we want to pick any material from robot, we need an gripper tool, which means in paint robots you can able to see in that picture of the end of the robot arm have an paint brushes. In the same thing, if we going to use an pick and place application, we need an gripper device. Gripper in the sense it will open close like our finger. If we want to catch any material, we have to close our fingers. If we want to drop any things, we have to release our fingers. Okay. In the same concept, gripper also working. If you want to pick any material, we have to close the gripper fingers. The picture shows the two top and bottom area have two fingers. If you're going to pick any material, it will be close. If you have to drop area, you have to release the fingers, then material will be dropped. In the same function happened in this gripper device. The gripper device is working with the principle of a pneumatic system. Next, electrical safety. Electrical safety, controller have a single phase power supply, and drives are all have three phase power supply. Safety regarding relaxing brakes. Every robot have a braking system. Every 6-axis robot, 6 gears, they have 6 servo motors. All servo motors having the several braking system. Each and every servo motors have separate brakes. If once emergency button is pressed, all the servo motors gone through with the brake. Automatically it will leads the brake. Next, we going to discuss manipulator. I already told you people, the robot technical name we calling as a manipulator. The robot structure we called as a manipulator. The manipulator description is here. I already explained to you people about the robot and manipulator things. The same thing is in this slide description part, you can able to see. Next, the block diagram of the robot. Block diagram of the robot having the robot manipulator. I already told you people, na? Robot has a robot called as an manipulator, technical word. Robot manipulator controlled with the controller. Okay, this is please all people watch the block diagram very carefully. This is the very basic thing, uh, which are all in live. Okay, block diagram of the robot manipulator controlled with the controller. Okay, the arrow mark will be done here. The same SMB cable. SMB cable is nothing but in robot manipulator, I already told you people, every arms controlled by servo motors. The servo motors have an communication, need an communication. In that communication, how can we do the communication to every axis, every servo motors? How it is possible? That one is possible with this SMB cable. Okay. The external ax power, EXT power and resolver cable. This arrow marks goes to external axis. Okay, this one is nothing but already we have 6-axis robot. Okay, but in field I required some more axis to move my robot in different area, which means 6-axis I have some more activity I can able to do. But in other part I have to do much more activity in that same robot. I have to add some more axes, which means I can able to add 1 axis, 2 axis, 3 axis. I already told you, na, minimum we can use 6 axis, maximum we can able to raise as a 36 axes. Okay, based on that, the external axis, how much we can able to add, that much external ax power cables and resolver cables we can add to the controller. Then only we can control the same axes with the same controller. We cannot have to buy new controller for this external axis. We can able to control the up to 36 axes in same controller. Okay, overall power system, here the block diagram shows the power lines also, red, R, Y, B. R in the sense red, Y in the sense yellow, B in the sense blue, which means R, Y, B. Normal we can, in our house we are also having single phase and 3-phase power supplies, right? The same thing, this the robot always need an 3-phase power supply, which means 415 voltage. Okay, the same thing also shows in the block diagram. I think you people have a good idea about how the robot is working, I think, right now. If any queries over there after the session, please mail, or else you can comment in the end of the session. Next we can move. Yes, this is also a major part. Here we can able to see the pictorial representation of the 6-axis robot. Okay, once again, before I start, I need to clarify some things. Don't get more confusion. Okay, just understand my just understand the session. You end of the session you can get some idea about robot. In case any queries, you can make a comment. Definitely I solve your all your queries. Okay, don't get confused, because industrial robot, in the sense there is huge number of technical details are there. Just I pick some more things for the startup training. That's why I named as an basic training. Okay, in basic I have covered maximum details in this session. Okay, let move with this topic. Six axis robot movements. Okay, in this pictorial representation you can see the base axis 1 and the axis 2 and axis 3 and axis 4 and axis 5 and axis 6. This thing called as an 6 axes. In base axis 1, every robot move in left to right, which means the motor plugged in rotary condition. The robot are totally plus 180 degree and minus 180 degree. It will rotate both side you can 180 this is 360 degree. Overall robot will move in 360 degree. Okay, the upper axis 2 is nothing but up down axis. Overall the part, the arrow mark also shows some clarity to you. The overall robot moves up and down movement. Okay, I think you people understand the arrow mark things. And next, axis 3 is the upper arm axis. It is also an up and down axis, but it combinationally work with axis 2. The same activity based on axis 2 and axis 3 is same, but some up down is differ from axis 2 and axis 3. Okay, I can able to show you the working of a robot, how it can working in live condition also in next session. Just understand the basic things here. Axis 4 is nothing but again rotation proportional to the axis 3. The arrow mark also you can able to see, I think. Okay, axis 5 again up and down proportional to the axis 3. Axis 5 also up and down towards the axis 3 based on the axis 3. Okay, axis 6 is major because axis 6 is the end axis, which means these are all other axes have an joints with axis 1 is joined with axis 2, axis 2 is joined with axis 3, and axis 3 is joined with axis 4, and axis 4 is joined with axis 5. The axis 6 is end, but in axis 6 we can able to fix some external things. Already we discussed in the session gripper, right? Gripper we can able to hold in axis 6. In case of painting application, the same robot we are going to use in painting application. In that area we can hold the paint brushes in axis 6. Okay, in case of I am going to do welding application in the same robot, then what can I do? I can hold the welding gun, normal welding machine gun you people seen in fabrication area. The gun I can manufacture some blocks and something to hold the gun into the axis 6 area. The cables are all routed with the robot cables. Then it will be work as an welding robot. Okay, next. Already in top of the slide I have told you robot has an major and minor axes. What are the major and minor axes we are going to discuss in this slide. First three axes 1 and 2 and 3, these are all called as an major axes. Okay, 1 2 3 called as a major axis. Because the why we called as a major axis? Why? Because the for 1 2 and 3 it always a major load and very high booms. This only going to move overall robot strength in overall load act in this 3 axes. Major role this 3 axes is going to play. That's why we can call it as an major axis. Last 3 axes 4, 5 and 6. 4, 5 and 6 we called as an minor axis. Why we called as an minor axis? Which means the 3 axis load is not much more, because this motor is also in very small, because the application of this 3 axis is very less when compared to the 1 and 2, 3. So this axis we called as an minor axis. Next we are going to discuss about controller. Up to this we have discussed about what is the robot and what the functions happening in robot, and what is manipulator, technical word of robot. Up to this we have discussed these things. Next we are going to discuss about controllers. Okay, what is controllers? Already we have top of the slides we have already seen some controllers. This controllers in very previous years, 1974 to 1982, and some 90s robots and 2000 robot controllers also given in this slide, and up to 2000. Now up to 2010, 2000 up to 2020 we have using this kind of cabinets. Every 10 to 20 years robot controllers will be same. Now currently we have a new controller. In next slide we are going to see the new controller. Yes, this one is the new robot controllers. Now we have, if you are going to purchase now one new robot, you can get this kind of robot controllers. Yes, this robot controller cabinet description also given here. This dimension will be 970 cross 725 cross 710 dimension, and some basic things are here you can able to see, I think. Okay, next, the pictorial description of controller. Okay, the controller, what are the things, major things? This is major. First, main disconnect in the sense main switch is there. If you off the switch, overall controller robot operation will be stopped. If you power on the switch, the normal condition will be startup. E-stop is nothing but, already we have you can able to see the e-stop button. Already we have shown emergency stop as an emergency stop, the short form called as e-stop. Next we have motor on switch. Motor on, which means robot has an 6 axis. Robot has an 6 axis of 6 servo motors. The 6 servo motors controlled by one cable. That one cable routed with this controller. Then we have to power on the motors. What we have to do? We have to power on this motor on switch also. Okay. Mode selector is nothing but, I already told you people, auto condition is there, manual condition. In manual condition there are two types, 100% speed and 50% speed. So this 3 type we have. Then we have to select the 3 type, which type we are going to use. In normal condition, production time we can use in auto mode. If any breakdown, new activity, in any maintenance activity, then we have to use in manual mode. That the time we can use this mode selector switch. This switch used to power on the auto manual modes. Okay. Run change status is not just an indicators. The indicator represents the robot working in normal mode, or any alarms it will be in yellow. If any emergency alarms, it will be in red. And then USB port. Robot cabinet have an USB port. Why we have an USB port? Because if you done program, every program you need an backup. Sometimes this is also like a system. If your computer system always you have a trust. But in some cases, some emergency data you can be able to maintain in your pen drives. uh, same thing also here. USB port is using for taking the backup of the overall programs, robot programs. Okay. Ethernet service. Why you have Ethernet service? Yes, this is also a major. If you have an issue in your robot, okay, that time uh, I am in outstation, you need an service support. What can I able to do means, if you connect your laptop with this Ethernet switch, then I can able to see your robot functions in my home place through internet services. Okay, that the purpose only. Ethernet service switch over there. Our meter in the sense, how much time robot is working, total working. In our bike, in our car, we have an speedometer with some kilometer device, right? In the same setup, also in how much uh, hours the robot is running. Okay, next, operating mode of an robot. Yes, these things are I already shown you people. This is a selector switch, manual and auto. Then this is the overall controller cabinet. What are all the things in controller? You people able to see this picture. Next, single cabinet controller. Single cabinet means only one controller is there. Multi-move requirements based on the drives. We can be able to use an external drives. The setup will be shown here. Okay, this is an process module, which means if additionally we can able to add an cabinets, we can row like this. The pictures also shown the module family concepts. Multi-stand. Okay, next we move with flex pendant. What we seen up to the level, what is the industrial robots, what is the manipulator, technical name of robots, and controllers. Up to this we have discussed these three topics. Next we go with flex pendant. Flex pendant is nothing but, we have controller to control the robot, we have robot to do the application. Between the controller and robot, how we can communicate, how we can tell the robot to move, how we can program the robot. We need some thing to type something, some things to do some activity. If you have to write some language in program, you need laptop, right? The same thing, if you want to type something in your programming language, you need some device. The same, that is nothing but the same thing flex pendant going to do. This is nothing but the keypad of the laptop, like that keypad of the robot. In similar language I am making, you people want to know what is this, what is the purpose of this flex pendant. Okay, in this flex pendant you have the options shown here. Okay, these are all the options. Programmable keys over the top of the pendant. Joystick, some joystick. In this joystick you can able to uh, move the robot using this joystick, three-way joystick. You can able to jack the robot from this key. Okay, 4 hotkeys to run stop the program. Execution switches. The below category 4 switches are execution switches. This is touch screen. You can use it like an mobile. Like mobile, you can touch the screen and utilize the pendants. Okay, these are all the pendants. We have different models. Modes of jogging. Using the joystick, we can jog the robot. How can we jog? Axis mode, a linear mode, or reorient mode? Axis mode, linear mode, and reorient mode. Different. There are three different modes. We can able to jog the robots. Yeah, this key shown here. How can we jog? Left, right, top, down, and rotate. Based on that jogging, how the robot moves. The pictorial representation will shows the movement of the robots. Top and bottom, up and down, rotate, and the top axis movement. 4 pictures shows the movement of the axes through joystick of the touch pendant. This is the modes. How can select in the touch screen? You have this kind of screen. I have zoomed it and showing you people how can we select the movements, horizontal, vertical, and rotation. Selection of the movements. This is the coordinate system. Coordinate system, you can study it in physics. Some right hand rule. This is the direction of robot moves in XYZ. Right hand rule. The robot always works in right hand rule. Thumb finger is an up down Z, and fourth finger is an X plus and minus, and the middle finger shows as a Y direction. Okay, now the second segment of the practice session. Okay, in this practice session you have defining a tool, defining a work object, motion instruction, basic programming structure, and practices. What is tool? Tool is nothing but, I already told to you people, robot 6th axis having something, depends upon your application. If you're going to use an welding application, welding tool will be there. If you're going to use paint application, paint brush will be there. If you're going to use pick and place application, handling application, the gripper unit will be there. The device is called as a tool. The tool works in the XYZ direction. Yeah, here the tool coordinate system briefly shown here how it works. The coordinate system of the robots. The first picture shows as a gripper gripping the products, and second one is spot welding, and third picture is MIG welding torch. Here clearly you can able to see the different type of application, how the tools will be fixed in the 6th axis. And here you have how can you teach the tool into the robot. The picture represent the same. This is the procedure of tool defining. Just you see the basic screens and basic things. These things I will elaborate in different sessions. This is the overviews of robot. How end of the session you people have some idea regarding the robot functions. These are all the basic programming setups.